Question for you in terms of the best quarterback right now on the planet, Tom Brady. He's going up against that top-ranked Texans defense. What's the fantasy play there?
I think you go ahead and use him as you normally would. I mean, the price isn't that bad on DraftKings. He's 7,600. I know only two teams have allowed fewer fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks than Houston this season. But if you look a little more closely at who the Texans have played, their schedule has lined up very favorably. When they caught the Patriots earlier this year, Brady was suspended, so they got a game against Jacoby Brissett in there. They got to see Jay Cutler way back in Week 1. They got to see Matt Castle in Week 17. They got to see Blake Bortles twice. So this is a team that I think has a decent or good pass defense, but probably not the elite one. I think the strength of schedule is a big factor. I think with Brady being at home, I really don't worry about him against anybody when he's playing at Foxborough. I feel like if he costs 8,500 or something, I might stay away. But at his price this week, I have no problem at all building the lineup around Tom Brady.
Just a real quick note as far as the Texans are concerned, I noticed that, and I don't know if you saw this DVR, that Brandon Weeden is the same price as Brock Osweiler and Tom Savage in DraftKings for this week.
Oh, no.
It's very strange. They're all three at $5,000, but I still wouldn't pick any of them. But anyway, it's just kind of an interesting note that I saw pop up there on the lineups. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. If Tom Brady is number one, then Aaron Rodgers is 1A? I don't know, or maybe he's one. Anyway, Rodgers was the only quarterback to finish in the top 5 in overall fantasy production last week. So what's your play, especially going up against the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I think Rodgers is one of 3 quarterbacks that I would definitely build a lineup around, Brady, of course, being one of the others. But the only issue I would have had is knowing ahead of time that Jordy Nelson's not going to play. But after what we saw last week against the Giants defense that, frankly, is a lot better than the Cowboys defense that Rodgers matched up against this week, I'm just not as worried about Rodgers as I would have been. I watched that team every week last season without Jordy Nelson, and by the time Denver solved that puzzle around the middle of the year, the passing game didn't quite look right the rest of the way. So this time last year, that matchup going up against Arizona, Packers didn't really have healthy receivers. It was a pretty ugly game for the most part until very late. I don't think you have to worry about that against Dallas. It's the highest over-under on the board. Rodgers looks extremely safe. I think the only real problem you're going to run into using Rodgers is that he becomes more of a cash game sort of play than a tournament play because he is priced up above the other quarterbacks, up above 8,000 at 8,200 this week.